member states now to back up a candidate for the African Development Bank position. And this is a circular that was shared yesterday, again, very, very late. Now, what that means in this particular circular, they're stating, they have not mentioned the name of the candidate, but they're stating that this particular announcement now comes about 36 hours after a similar announcement was made by the Secretary General of the South Africa Development Community, calling upon the 16 member states, encouraging them to vote for the Madagascar candidate, that is Richard Randriamandrato. And so, you know, how SADC is issuing these circulars left, right, and center, you know, it can only be interpreted by them. And this is what the Principal Secretary in the Foreign Affairs Ministry, that is Dr. Sing'oei, did clarify yesterday. But I just want to show you, our viewers, what's happening where I'm standing. This is the VIP section entrance, but not for the heads of state, but for the ministers, for the ambassadors and high-profile representatives from various international agencies. At this point where he will make his way all the way to the plenary hall. Now, where does he sit upon arriving at the Nelson Mandela plenary? He will sit just behind the president. But right now, just some dignitaries, VVIPs, I'm being told that Obasanjo, the former Nigerian president, has just arrived, has just landed, and we expect him to, you know, make his way here. We have a lot of eminent personalities when it comes to the diplomatic corps. We have former ambassadors, former heads of states like Olusegun Obasanjo, who's been really on the forefront, you know, even in shaping, you know, the reality and the origin of the Kenyan candidate, Raila Amolo Odinga. Remember, the very first time that, you know, that particular announcement was made was after President Obasanjo actually met Raila Amolo Odinga and also met President William Ruto. And so he is also one of the very key figures that, you know, has arrived here in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, for the Heads of State Summit. Apart from the 49 nations participating in the 38th Ordinary Summit of the Heads of States here in Addis Ababa, we also have, like I mentioned earlier, we have observers. We have as well election officials, you know, from various agencies. You know, we also have international organizations. We have humanitarian, you know, humanitarian organizations, representatives, the likes of the World Red Cross, World Red Crescent, all of them part and parcel. So it just tells you that how important and how significant this 38th Ordinary Summit of the Africa Union Heads of State is. And just to, you know, remind you again, the people you're seeing right now arriving here at this particular VIP entrance should be ministers representing the, you know, 49 members of the Africa Union as it stands. I'm mentioning 49 person and deputy chairperson. So lots of dignitaries now making their way here. And this is where the ministers are coming. And this is where the international observers are coming, plus any other designated VVIP. Now, we also have another entrance right way on my right. And that particular entrance is for only and strictly heads of states and government. And that is where you expect the likes of Kenya's President, Dr. Samuel William Ruto, to make his way into the plenary hall from. You know, that particular place, it's very well guarded. Security has been revamped here in Addis, even both inside and outside the AU headquarters. There is heavy heavy deployment of security agencies. It is a intersectorial, operation by the both Ethiopian authorities as well as, outsourced international security officials, just to make sure that things go according to plan. And so the stakes are high here, like I said, and right now we are seeing the Foreign Affairs Minister for Cote d'Ivoire just arriving. Right now, we also saw him participate in the two-day inter-ministerial executive council of the Africa Union members, and this is a meeting that was held earlier. It usually precedes the heads of state summit, and in fact the resolution that was made by Interministerial Executive Council of the Africa Union is what is going to be discussed. It is going to be ratified, and it is going also to be adopted by the heads of state here. So even as we wait for the much anticipated commencement of today's agenda, we are here and we expect more. They're just arriving here, but remember the climax is in just about 30 minutes time, when the official program of the Africa Union Heads of State Summit program kicks off proper inside the Nelson Mandela Plenary Hall. That's the latest. Ayub Abdukadir.
Thank you, Seth.